Two guys either side of 50 with one dream to achieve middle-aged sporting glory. This is the Missing Links Golf Show. Pilgrims, we're back. We are back. Episode number 25. After an incredible episode 24, Andy Walker with the great man John Weir talking about all things mental golf type. I listened to it again today. Warped the brain yet further. But what a fantastic discussion that was. Thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a really interesting guy. I think I mentioned last week he's certainly an innovator within the mental golf space. I've been working my way through my mental golf type and the program. I've pretty much finished level 1.
Nice.
Which, is really interesting. So I've been through all my different areas of mental golf type. So I've got a bit of an understanding of each one. It certainly helped me at different times as well, which I'm sure we're going to get to throughout the episode.
A little bit of an update on some rounds, yes. Level 1, Andy Walker, does that place you, do you think, at Padawan level or Jedi Master?
Definitely not Jedi Master. Definitely not Jedi Master, and I think that'll come to light pretty quickly.
Feel like you're still there on the Millennium Falcon with the the grill down, trying to wield the lightsaber blind, reaching out to your feelings.
Yes.
Andy Skywalker.
Yeah.
Wow, didn't think we were going to go in that direction this early in the show, but that's okay.
No, definitely haven't got to see Yoda yet.
Fair enough. But no, fantastic episode. Funnily enough, I was listening to it this morning, listening to John talk about the power gesture. Your power move or your power gesture, like maybe it's a bit of a fist pump or a reach for the sky or whatever it may be. I was in a work meeting yesterday and busted out some power gestures when I thought I'd made a good point.
Excellent.
Don't know how
so
that went.
Was it an online meeting or was it?
No, it was in person. So, dropped a truth bomb and then got up and a big, lawnmower chainsaw kind of action.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. I was asked to leave.
Surprisingly. I don't necessarily think that John's talking about corporate environment when he was talking about the power move.
Well, I thought we've made it clear at the end of that interview that a lot of this information is quite transferable from for the golf course to the boardroom and certainly to relationships and family life. I'm not sure what situations you might want to bring out the power gesture in family life, but we'll leave that to the imagination, perhaps.
So, what when you're having a discussion with the other half,
let's call it a discussion. Yeah,
you feel as though the power move is a good one to pull out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me know how it works.
I want you to try that. Oh, wow. Out of context. Some of our best, nevertheless. We are here for another episode. There's quite a bit to get through tonight, Andy Walker.
There is.
We need to bring the Pilgrims up to date with what's happening with the leaderboard because there's been some movement. Obviously, March has been played and won, so there's a bit to update there. We need to talk a bit about, both of us have had a competition round already in April, which is potentially unexpected, but that has happened. So there's a bit to cover there, a bit of a discovery that you've made as well with some more tournaments possibly that could be on the horizon.
Very exciting.
But before we get into that, Voice of the Pilgrims, Andy Walker, is a very important segment. We didn't do it last time because of the interview with John, but I think it's important that we open the floor for the Voice of the Pilgrims. What have you got?
Oh, look, I've only got one pilgrim that sent a message through, very short, very to the point.
Okay.
Ted from Mollymook.
Love Ted from Mollymook. Fan of the show.
That's that that tends to be his style. Very, very direct, very
Mm,
short.
mm.
Coming back to the goal setting that we'd talking
Oh,
about
he's still on that. Yeah, okay.
a number of weeks ago. So
Yep.
what he's written, and he's actually in capitals goals. So
Oh,
he's
shouting.
he's shouting. Write them down.
Calm down, Ted. Stop shouting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got goals dash.
Yes.
Write them down
Yeah.
dash. Are they measurable? Question mark.
Right.
Then, if you're going to pussyfoot around, don't pretend you are setting goals.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with that. That's
just a short jab.
That's a jab straight to the jaw, is what that is. If you're going to pussyfoot around,
don't. Do you feel as though that's what you're doing? You're pussyfooting around?
Do you think that's directed at me, do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, you were the one who was sort of talking about sort of, the goals and,
I feel like we both
make
were.
them measurable.
I think we both were.
Stuff.
I think we were both saying it. In fairness, I don't think we ever actually disagreed with Ted.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm not, I would, mention that, I didn't think that we'd certainly hadn't put any sort of time frame or measurement on those goals. It was very much just a conversation that, that sounds pretty good. I mean, in the first couple of episodes, we talked about some of the strokes gained goals that we had, but that was a conversation and I can't say I ever wrote it down. So
is writing it down, is that much different to recording it verbally and then putting it out publicly to the entire world via the internet and podcasting services? I mean, like, if we have published said goals, is that any less powerful than physically writing them down?
Well, yeah, I think it is, because writing down goals, because the goals, your own goals, are obviously meant for you to achieve. So if you're physically writing it down, and I believe that there's quite a big difference between just talking about it and having it in the back of your head, whether you're recording it or not, and actually putting pen to paper and writing something down.
Yes.
I believe there's a pretty big
Is it like some
difference.
Cognitive connection here?
Yeah. So I certainly think that, we've talked about it a lot and we've put it out there. But it's probably, maybe not quite as grounded, I guess, as what writing it down and having it on a bit of paper or, in front of you so you can regularly read and review.
What about a tattoo, Andy Walker?
Yeah, I mean, you could go down that line of a tattoo. There, you wouldn't have been the first that
Is that more powerful?
Got a tat, but yeah, not my style. I'm not a tat guy.
Curious how Ted from Mollymook feels about that. Whether or not that's enough commitment for him.
I don't think Ted from Mollymook's a tat guy.
No, I don't think so either. But we don't know. I've got little doubt that we'll find out about that in ensuing episodes of The Voice of the Pilgrims. I mean, look, fair enough. I would say, don't disagree with your message, Ted. Maybe ease up on the shouting. No one likes being shouted at, to be honest. But that's fine. If that's the way you want to approach things, then that's totally fine. Or is it? But writing it down, we'll write some goals down, Andy Walker. That's homework for this week. And I think we'll write it, we'll hand write it on bits of paper. We'll take photos of the bits of paper and put it on our various social media channels. How do you feel about that?
Okay. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Wow. Okay. Nice work.
So a very strong voice. Only one, short and sweet, but very strong.
Yeah, straight to the point. Very loud voice. Very loud voice of the Pilgrims there. Anyway, good start. So next on the agenda, though, is the Missing Links Golf Show Annual Championship Leaderboard.
Yes.
Andy Walker, some information that we've got to share, which is the March result.
I'm feeling pretty confident about March.
So you had 3 rounds in March. I'm looking at the leaderboard here.
Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say I don't remember the last time I had 3 comp rounds in a month. So
Well, it
certainly
hasn't been this year.
well, yeah, well ahead of where I've been in recent times.
In fairness, one of them was on the 30th and the other was on the 31st of the month. So you spent a good portion
It's
of the
still
month.
in the month.
If it was February,
Doesn't
it wouldn't have been.
It's March.
But it was March. So on the 30th of March, with a handicap index of 4.0, you had a gross differential of 10.6, which is a net differential of minus 6.6, Andy Walker. That is a differential percentage of minus 165%.
Wow.
Good description. On the 31st of March, you were playing off a handicap index of 4.0 with a gross differential of 7.1. That's a net differential of minus 3.1 for a percentage differential of minus 78%.
Yeah, the 2 Mac Cup rounds weren't my best.
No. Interestingly, on those same dates, on the 30th of March, I was playing off 9.0 and had a gross differential of 12.4, which was a net differential of minus 3.4, which was minus 38%.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's better than either of mine.
It is. Closely followed then on the 31st of March, playing off a 9.5 index as a flag round dropped out. With a gross differential of 7.1, that's a net differential positive of 2.4, which is a differential percentage of 25%. It's pretty good.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty good. I mean, positive. Must be pretty happy with that.
Positive is good. Interesting to note, there haven't been a huge amount of positive percentage differentials from either of us this calendar year.
No.
There's been a few, but not a huge amount. It's not easy to do. But then that brings us to a round of golf, Andy Walker, that you played on the 26th of March. Jeez, yes. Not only did you have 3 in a month, you had 3 in 5 days. On the 26th of March, playing off 4.6, you had a gross differential of 1.6, which is a net differential of 3. And Andy Walker, that is a differential percentage of 65%.
And we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
We do. Which takes that tally after winning February to Andy Walker on 6 points and Stevie Hinks on 3 points, which is, let's just say, a little bit disappointing.
See, I don't see it that way, surprisingly.
Oh, I do.
It's 2 months in a row. So, I mean, that's got to put the pressure straight back.
I'm not sure that that's.
In your lap.
I don't know that that's how I would describe it, but anyway, it's something.
Well, I think maybe by the end of the show we may be having a different discussion than that.
We might.
Just quietly.
We might. Hard to say. Nevertheless, we move on. So, comp rounds in April.
Yes.
Andy Walker, have you had one?
Yes, I did have a comp round on the 9th of April, back at my local club again. I didn't have a particularly enjoyable ball striking, 2 rounds, not just a round, 2 rounds in the Macquarie Cup. So I did put a little bit of work in to my swing in the high performance centre. So, I then went out on the 9th of April to play in the local comp.
Well, how are you feeling before the round, Andy Walker?
I did actually detail my thoughts in a little recording.
This is exciting. Shall we go to that?
Round?
Shall we go to that now? Shall we go back in time and see how Andy Walker was feeling before the round?
Let's do that.
All right, let's strap yourselves in, Pilgrims. Here we go.
So here I am. I've just completed my warm-up, my first competition round since the Macquarie Cup. Feeling pretty good. I've spent some time in the High Performance Centre. It felt like my ball striking was pretty ordinary in the Macquarie Cup, so spent some time just working through some of the issues that I had. And look, I feel pretty good. I've had a good warm-up. I am going to go back to just hitting my driving iron off the tee as I did a few weeks back. I feel as though my driver and fairway, I just don't have a lot of confidence in it. And that came out in the Macquarie Cup, which, I think it was like 3 out of 13 fairways that I hit, as opposed to the 8 out of 13 that I hit a couple of weeks ago when I played at my home club. So, that's my strategy, going back to what works. Feel pretty good. Feel like I've worked through some of the issues, and we'll see how we go throughout the day.
Very interesting, Andy Walker. Anything
Yes.
that you want to add to that little summary?
No, look, that's a pretty good summary of where I was at the time. As I said, like my driver and fairway, just zero confidence in those two clubs. And I mean, that's, we started a few weeks back when I just went, you know what, I'm just not even going to hit them off the tee. So look, I still hit my 3 driving iron, around about sort of 210 to the 215 meters. So playing off the front markers, and that doesn't work in the, when you're playing tournament conditions from the back markers, but certainly when you're playing in the local club comp off the forward tees, that's, more than sufficient to be able to put yourself in position to be able to make a score. And I just, as I said, I've just lost confidence in the driver and 3-wood, and whether that's to do with the actual clubs itself or whether that's a technical issue, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Something to investigate a little bit further.
Absolutely. So I suppose with that in mind, maybe talk us through the round and how did things transpire?
Well, surprisingly, I also recorded a post-round thoughts, which we have now on file. So I reckon maybe we should flick across to that and hear my thoughts post-round, and then we're going to have a bit of a chat about it.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Here we go. AW post-round. What did he have to say for himself?
Okay, a bit of post-round analysis. I'm sitting here in my car after the comp round today. A lot of really good things. I actually had a really hot start. I started birdie, par, birdie, birdie, birdie. So I was 4 under after 5. And I mean, it's been a long time since I've got to 4 under. Not sure if I've ever been 4 under after 5. But I felt okay. I was putting into practice some of the strategies from the mental golf type that I've been learning. However, I didn't finish the front 9 that well. I bogeyed 6, bogeyed 7, parred 8, and bogeyed 9. So 1 under after 9. I parred 10 and 11. I birdied 12. So I'm 2 under with 6 to play, and it was pretty similar to my round a few weeks ago. 13, par. 14, made a nice birdie. So 3 under with 4 to play. And again, pretty uncomfortable, pretty tough finishing holes at my home club, and it was actually back into the wind. And I did finish bogey, bogey, par, bogey. So let it slip, got back to even par, but still pretty happy all in all, taking a lot of positives out of the day. And again, to get to 4 under, that was pretty early, but to maintain that and get back to 3 under through 14, I'm pretty happy with it. I think I just need to put myself into that position more often, need to get those miles under the legs of as we've been talking about. And I'm pretty positive about where my game is. Certainly after the Macquarie Cup, I don't feel as though the Macquarie Cup was my best golf, but look, lots of good things to look forward to, and yeah, pretty pumped for the next couple of months. So yeah, let's get on it.
My sweet Lord, Andy Walker, even par round of golf.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've shot.
I feel like we need some kind of celebration here.
Look, and it's interesting because, I mean, at the time, I was looking at it pretty positively, and, we're trying to, promote, feelings of acceptance. And look, at the end of the day, I was still playing off 5, not anymore, but I was playing off 5. And
it's remarkable.
I've got to accept that as a 5 marker, I'm going to be making bogeys, So at some stage throughout the round, I'm going to be making bogeys. But to get to 3 under, well, I got to 4 under after 5, but to maintain that and to be 3 under through 14, it's it's really good, but I'm a bit disappointed I didn't shoot under par. That's sort of it's been 25 years or more since I've shot. Well, it's been 25 years or more since I've shot even par, but subpar, to break that par barrier is just, I feel like I'm just on the edge.
I didn't really want to focus on that, but it was in the back of my mind that you were, a few under with a few holes to go. Smidge of disappointment I can understand, but even par round of golf, Andy Walker, you've got to be thrilled about that.
Yeah, I am absolutely 100%, and I'm quite happy with where my game is heading.
The velocity of your game at the moment.
The velocity of my game, exactly. I mean, the big question mark, and that sort of voice in the back of your head is my driver and fairway. That's the thing that's really got me a bit concerned at the moment, because it's all well and good from the front tees to be able to hit a driving iron off the tee and still be able to make a score, but when you start and as you know, we're wanting to play in tournament conditions. So my big thing at the moment, and where my main concern is what's going on with my driver and 3-wood. Is it the fact that they're obsolete clubs and they just don't suit where I am, or is it something a bit more technical than that? Is there something in my swing which I'm not able to get those or get any consistency with those 2 clubs?
We could do a montage of the number of times during the Missing Links Golf Show's previous episodes that I have told you that you need to get a driver fitting. Yeah.
And look, I don't disagree with it. It's something that I
feel like you do, because otherwise you would have done it.
Maybe I'm still a bit resistant to it. I don't know, but
I thought that was my job.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that sometimes I go, yeah, you know what, I really need it. But then there are other times where I sit back and I go, no, I can find an answer to it. I can fix this. I'm a fixer. So I feel as though I should be able to find an answer with my current clubs, and I don't want to, and the old sort of saying, a bad tradesman always blames their tools. I do believe that to a certain extent, but there comes a time when the tools are so old that they don't really work anymore.
When was the last time that you saw a really good tradesman with really ordinary tools?
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. And so you may not blame the tools, and we're not suggesting that, but the tools may be making it harder than it needs to be to control. And let's be honest, like shooting an even round of golf, an even round of golf, nobody's blaming the tools, but certainly if you're concerned about being able to hit a driver off the tee and fairway woods and those sorts of things, well, I think you've proven that you've got a game that can stand up. It's a good game. Like, that's not an easy achievement what you've just done.
Yeah.
But to take it to the next level, you need to be confident with your driver, because your driver has to be a weapon. Has to be.
Yeah, it does. And especially on the par fives, because at the end of the day, even Bryson DeChambeau would struggle to get to some of the par fives with an iron off the tee. So you get to a lot of them, but certainly myself, who is less than PGA Tour average swing speed, I'm going to struggle to attack par fives if I don't have my driver working.
Yeah.
So it's certainly a big thing that I need to be able to get it working, and B, I need some consistency with it. So I need some answers.
That's exciting.
But look, at the end of the day, if I look at my stats in the round, so from a strokes gain perspective, I actually had a strokes gained of 0.4. So it's my first round where I've actually gained, had a positive strokes gained against a scratch marker, which I'm pretty excited about.
It's very impressive.
So if you break that down into the 4 different areas, so -1 for driving, plus 1.2 for approach play, plus 0.5 for my short game. I was going to say 0.05, but I know there's one of our pilgrims is going to pick me up if I say 0.05.
Someone may pick that one
0.5 for my short game. That's a plus 0.5, and was -0.2. And then if you go to fairways hit, 8 out of 13. So back to 8 out of 13 greens. So, contrast that to the Macquarie Cup of 3 fairways out of 13 for both rounds. And then greens in regulation, 12 out of 18 greens. So I feel as though I'm back to, things are back on track after the disappointment of the Mac Cup. But there's that voice in the back of my head that's going, you need to just sort that out, the driver and fairway.
And I think listen to the voice, Andy Walker, listen to the voice. Nevertheless, congratulations. First even par round of golf in the history of the Missing Links Golf Show. So definitely an achievement, something to be very, very proud of. Nice work. Heartache to follow.
Which leads us to your round of golf.
Yeah, it does.
Mr. Hinks.
Heartache to follow, but some 4 days later, I had a comp round. And as a matter of fact, not only was it a comp round, it was the monthly medal, so it was a stroke event.
Ooh, okay.
And not only was it the monthly medal, it was round 1 of the club championships.
Okay, so was that like effectively tournament conditions? Did they set the course up?
Yes.
Similar to what
Yep.
you would in a tournament?
Yep. So tees at the back.
Nice.
Pins tucked. Greens firm and fast. Rough. Rough wasn't that long, to be fair. But fairways were at least defined, so that was nice.
Yep.
But I've got to say, beautiful day. Spectacular day. Great weather. My only sadness really is that I was not able to play. So I played on the Saturday. I was not able to play on the Sunday. And then, of course, the following weekend being rounds 3 and 4 of the club championship. So I've only played 1 round. So I'm out of the club championships because I can't commit to the 4 rounds.
Yep.
But nevertheless, played the first round, which was a monthly medal. And like you, Andy Walker, like you, I did a little bit of recording. So nice. I did a little, busted out the mobile mic and had a little chat before the round. So rather than me set it up, why don't we cut to a few days ago, me, to talk about how we were feeling?
Yeah, all right.
All right, let's go there right now. Pilgrims, it's Saturday, a bit after midday. I'm at the course getting ready for a roughly 12:30 tea time. It's been a good warm up in the net. I'm feeling good. Haven't had a huge amount of practice this week, but nevertheless, swing is feeling good. Putts are rolling quite well on the practice green. So, look, I think all things considered, feeling pretty positive. It's a big field today, though. There's a bit over 200 players monthly medal in round one of the club champs. So, look, who knows how we're going to go. Could be a slow day out there, but it is a beautiful day. Course looks immaculate. I can't wait. Let's go. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped there, Mr. Hinks.
I was excited.
So was it a slow day?
Oh, yeah.
12-ish, or 12:30 tee off time.
I actually think our tee time on the sheet was 12:38.
Yeah.
And our actual tee time, like when we literally teed off, was closer to 1:10.
Ooh, that's not a good start.
No. Yeah, it was a massive field. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I could tell because when I drove into the car park, when I arrived at the club,
You couldn't find one?
I couldn't find a parking spot. Like, it was literally that full. So you knew it was going to be a big day, which is great. It's so good. Like, it's excellent to see. So it was exciting. So it was. Anyway, it was an interesting first nine.
Okay. Yeah.
But unlike you, I did bust out the microphone between nines because, let's be honest, I had
Mid-round.
time. I had time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine that. Yeah. Stroke round monthly medal from the plates,
mate.
Yeah. Time is not necessarily of the essence. It
was brutal.
It was plentiful.
Yeah, it was brutal. So if you like, we can jump in the time machine and head back to after 9 holes and just see how things are travelling. So let's go.
Look forward to hearing it.
Let's go there right now. Right, so the first 9 is done. Wow, that could have been anything in either direction. Started with a double after a reasonable drive that just got absolutely stymied behind a tree. Birdie on 3, but then another double on 5. So, look, to be perfectly honest, to finish the front 9 in 42 at 6 over par, I'm still in with a fighting chance, but need a good back 9, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. So I think that really says pretty much a lot. The first hole, honestly, Andy Walker, the first fairway it cambers left.
Yes.
Smoked a drive, bounced in the fairway, and it's obviously rolled through. And there was one spindly little tree just standing there a couple of metres off the edge of the fairway. And the ball was hard up against the back of it.
Nice. Of course it was.
No choice but to go straight sideways to get back onto the fairway.
Yeah.
And then took the hybrid out. I was about 205 to the centre, so about 188-ish to the front edge. Took the 4 hybrid out and squirted one into the trees on the left, exactly the same as round 2 of the Macquarie Cup. And again, dead, like under this overhanging kind of weeping willow style tree with other trees in front and the bunker and then the green. So all I could do was just bunt a 7-iron to the greenside bunker and then try and get up and down, which I very, very nearly did. The putt just didn't quite drop. Starting with the double was disappointing, but the birdie at 3 was great, got me back on track.
Tough hole, that third hole.
It is. Hit a really good drive, hit an 8-iron to about 5 feet, and then knocked the putt in. And and then made bogey on 4, which is not a bad result. 4's a tough hole. It's long par 4, dogleg par, dogleg to the right. The double on 5 was disappointing. So
yeah, after coming back with a birdie on 3,
yeah,
then to make a double a couple of holes later, yeah,
that was disappointing. But again, it was one of those ones. Totally like poor shot, missed the green. But a bad bounce kind of took things around. Bit of overhanging tree trouble and a bunker to try and keep a chip low, but over the bunker to stop on the green.
Yeah,
and with the green running away from you as well. It's just not possible. So anyway, so that was disappointing. Double, but it was good to finish. So I then went par, bogey, par to finish. So that was good. Held it together. And as you heard, at the turn kind of things we're not feeling too bad at that point. Could have been worse. Obviously could have been a little bit better, but definitely could have been worse. So, so moving into the second 9, I only had 3 shots to play with handicap-wise, so needed a good 9 to post a score.
Yep.
But again, knowing stroke round, tough conditions, you don't really know what's going to happen to the course rating on the day for the gross differential. So you got to stay in the game, play every shot, hang in there. Big question is, Andy Walker, how did we go at the end of the 18?
Let me guess. You had some sort of post-round thought recording.
Yeah, I did. Do you want to go to that? Should we?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Get in the time machine. Away we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, that's it, Pilgrims. That's 18 holes played. Round 1 of the club championships, monthly medal. Stroke round. Probably one of the slowest rounds of golf I think I've ever had. We teed off close to half an hour late, and things didn't speed up for the rest of the day. But nevertheless, it's been a fun day out. Cracking day. Beautiful weather. Course is immaculate. Greens were beautiful. And look, not a bad round of golf. What did we finish? 82, 11 over par. Not a bad day. It's going to be interesting to see what the differential is on that, because that could end up being a flagged round. So that'll be an interesting one to look at when the scores get posted. But I've got to say as well, I was a bit nervous. 17, it was a double on 17, and memories of Macquarie Cup came flooding back, where I went double to finish on the first day. But anyway, fortunately that didn't happen. But Andy Walker, I recommend that you ask me for a shot-by-shot retelling of what happened up 18. That was a wild ride. But there you go, Pilgrims. Another one down, and good day out. Lots of fun.
Look, at the end of the day, I mean, 82 is a good score.
I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah. I would have been pretty happy with that.
You would have been.
So 18. What's the go with 18? There sounds like there's a bit of a story there. I have to say, you sounded tired.
Oh, mate,
you sounded actually drained.
I was. It was.
Yeah, like you. It just sounded like you were struggling to actually.
We teed off
in front of the next.
We teed off like at about, as I said, a bit after 1 o'clock. But legitimately, when I was recording that, it felt like it was nearly 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway, the 18th, you ask. The 18th, what happened up 18? So, yeah, literally, I doubled 17, which, look, it's one of those things that can happen. And basically because I'd actually pulled my drive right on 17 and then had to chip out from the trees. Tried to do a big hooky 5-wood actually, but ended up chipping out from the trees. Read into that what you will.
Nice.
Then missed the green and tried to get up and down and didn't quite work out. But then I was kind of going, honestly, don't go double again. and then like good thought process.
It's not, yeah, not necessarily
Yeah,
what
but
I would
I didn't
consider
carry
to
that on. I
be.
didn't carry that onto the tee box. That was just on the walk over to the
Okay.
tee box. And then I went, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
One shot at a time. Don't stay in the past. Don't go in the future.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Where's your process, man?
Yeah, back to the process. So all good. So get on the 18th tee, par 3, up the hill, heavily sloping green left to right. And it's around about 180 meters. So I pulled 5-iron, and I almost duck hooked a 5-iron.
Wow. Okay.
Heavily right of the green.
Yep.
So far right of the green, it was under another one of these hanging trees, weeping willow style trees. Not a weeping willow, but like the branches that hang down. Like, I don't know what the tree's called, but like the branches kind of hang down like a big umbrella all the way to the ground.
Yeah. And look, I have to say, knowing the course a little bit and having hit both of my shots right at the bunker and still
being open. So I was right of where you were, significantly right of there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so dead, like honestly so dead, to the extent that I was under this tree, so I had a stance reminiscent of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and could barely even see the ball as I was trying to hit it. And then in front of me was another tree, and then the bunker, and then the green. So there was no shot. So what I had to do was actually hit the ball backwards, back towards the fairway, away from the green, towards the fairway, to hopefully get out and give myself a shot to pitch onto the green.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm thinking 4's a good score. You know, from this point, 4's a very good score.
Because you know that, you know, your thought process after 17 and going, don't finish double. You know, your brain doesn't recognize the don't.
Oh, I know. I'm well aware, which is why I didn't carry that thought onto the tee box. We've been through that. So I thought 4's a good score here. Let's get it back in play. Don't try and be too funky. Just get it back in play. So I did that. So I bunted it, 7-iron back out onto the. It's terrible when you're bunting your second shot to the fairway on a par 3, but that's what I was reduced to. So I successfully did that, and I was probably about 20 meters short of the green at this point. Just took out the sandwich and stuck it straight in the hole, Andy Walker, for a miraculous par.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So it was a nice finish. It was a good finish. Yeah.
Just a regulation 3 finish.
Regulation 3 helps my putts for the round statistic.
Good one.
So yeah, I mean, it was good, like an 82 in medal conditions. I'm pretty happy with, to be perfectly honest. But interestingly, looking at the round, when you look at the stats, so when we break it down from a strokes gained perspective, with the driver, and this is against a scratch handicapper because that's the game we're playing now. With the driver, I was losing 1.52 shots on the field, so I think that's not bad. I drove the ball pretty well.
Yes, that's pretty good.
It's not bad. Approaches, I was losing 5.08 shots on the field, so that's where the money is.
That's not ideal.
It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Like I was hitting my approach shots kind of like a 5 handicapper, really. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Short game, I was losing 2.61 shots on the field.
Right.
Putting, I gained 1.96 shots on scratch handicappers.
So putting still strength of your game?
Interestingly enough, yes, it is.
Which, massive turnaround. I know we've talked about it before, but massive turnaround that it continues to be the strength of your game given where you were a couple of months back.
Yes. It is remarkable for all of those reasons, which is probably why we're remarking on it right now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the value of letting go of outcome thinking and stop thinking about the binary outcome of do I make it, do I miss it? Because that was what my problem was, and I was tensing up and I was leaving them short. Like I've always been able, not always, of probably the last 6 months at least, been able to roll the ball on the line that I choose to roll it. So my issues really is, can I get the speed right, and can I read the putt right in the first place?
It's interesting because I'm doing a little bit of reading and listening at the moment as to how a lot of the PGA Tour pros practice, and they're very focused on short putts. So they do a lot of short putt drills just to really nail sort of inside, say, 6 feet. However, then all the drills is about speed. So they're not necessarily putting to a hole as such. It's all speed drills to make sure that outside of that sort of 6 to 8 feet radius, that it's their speed control is where it needs to be. So I agree with where you are with your putting in that speed, and to be honest with you, I think that's probably why my putting has improved a lot as well, because and this is, and I go back to my mental golf type and coming back to process. And this is where I think aim point has really helped me, in that it's given me a process to follow. So once I get the line of where I want to hit my putt, I forget about that. And then all I'm focused on is speed. And my putting's improved out of sight since then. And I'm actually holding a lot more longer putts because I've got my line. I don't need to worry about it anymore. So it's all about speed.
Makes all the difference. And I think the more you can break down those skills, because ultimately there's three skills that are imperative in putting. One is green reading. The other is speed control. And the third one is the ability to hit the center of the face and roll the ball on the line that you want to roll it on.
Yes.
And I think the more that you can break those three things apart in the process and focus only on one of them at a time, the easier it is to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is why I like to line the line up, because I read the part, whether you read it with aim point, whether you read it with other methods, but then lining the line up, that's now locked and set and done, and that's what I'm going to try and hit the ball on, so I don't have to think about that anymore. And then the other thing
it's interesting that you say that, talking about the line, because I was listening to some of the commentary about Scotty Scheffler, and because he used to putt with the line, and one of the things that he's done to really improve his putting is to get rid of it. So he now doesn't actually putt with the line. And that's what I found, because I remember us having the conversation, and I did try it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it to work. No. And I've never putted with the line. What I've always done is pick a spot, maybe, a foot in front of my ball. And the way I figure is, as long as I've got, that spot, if that's aligned with my starting point, then if I roll it over that spot, that's, I'm good. So I'm aligning myself to that spot a foot in front of the ball. Sure. So I find that that's significantly better than actually having a line on the ball. In fact, I just, it sort of is a bit confusing to whether that's just subconsciously what I'm used to.
I think everyone's different is the point. Like Cam Smith, for example, possibly one of the best putters in the world. He has a line on his ball, but he doesn't line that line up to the hole. He puts that at the back of the ball as if it's what the putter face is going to hit. Like it's...
Yeah, right.
So he's got it running instead of north-south in the direction of the putt, he's got it running east-west, that he's going to place his putter face on that line. And quite a few people do that as well. Some people actually use both. They have like a tee, and they'll go the line for the line of the putt, and the tee is what is keeping the club face square, the putter face square.
Yep.
I think it's different for everybody. What I would suggest is muck around with it and see what works for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Personally, what really works for me is being able to have that line, because then what I actually focus on, and I think this is as much green reading as it is about actually then putting mechanics afterwards, and it gives me something to think about, because what I'm trying to do is to just make sure that I see that line rolling like seam up the whole way across, because then I know I've struck it square. And then I think what that's doing is it's giving my brain something to do rather than worrying about whether or not I make the putt.
Yes.
And I think that's the bit for me that helps. It's just a bit of an aside, but I personally find it good. But as you say, for other people, they don't like it because they're a bit more feel based on the read of the putt. I actually like to go, no, I've done that. I've done the putt reading, the green reading. I can now not worry about that. I don't have to worry about the line, and I'm just going to step up and hit that putt in that direction.
Yeah, and look, I think that's a good thing, and I think that everyone just needs to, just have a bit of a play around with a few different techniques, and maybe listen to some of the, and I know some of the commentators waffle on a little bit, but if you sift through some of the waffle, there's actually a couple of little points that I've picked up that I think are really relevant to being able to implement into my game or to my practice sessions that are really relevant. And certainly I completely understand where Scotty Scheffler's coming from, because I found that line to be quite confusing. Of course, my focus is more just about feeling the speed. I'm not worried about where my ball is lined up to, or where my starting point is, because I've already taken care of that.
Yeah.
So for me, then it's just all about the putter head and feeling the putter head and feeling how what speed I want the putter head to be coming through at for the length of putt that I have.
I think that's all fair. I think in Scotty Scheffler's situation, because Scotty and I go way back, and obviously we chat about this stuff quite regularly. I think he is probably trying to get out of the mechanics and out of the head and get athletic and just reactive over the putts, and trust his feel. And therefore moving away from a line or any of those sorts of things, which are probably leaning a little bit more mechanical. I think that makes total sense for someone like Scotty. As I say, for me, I like it. Whether or not I will continue to like it in a couple of years' time, who's to know? Because these things change, and what works for you now might not be the same thing that works for you in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years.
For sure.
Because putting's just so personal. It's not, yes, mechanics matters to an extent, but there's so many different ways of executing the putting stroke.
Yep.
If there's just one way that was the best way of doing it, everyone would do it, but it's
for sure.
not. It's definitely not the case.
I do find it interesting though that Scotty Scheffler's moved to the mallet putter. Moving away, and I'm not sure what he was using before. It might have been, was it sort of like a Scotty Cameron or?
I don't know if it was a Scotty. It might have been, but it was definitely that style. Like that answer head. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. But he's moved to the mallet putter, which seems to have helped a lot in keeping the club face square.
I totally agree with that. Like I had to do that because I struggled to keep, the more blade style putter head square.
And that's one of the things that they were talking about in the lead up to the Masters, because apparently last year there was quite a heated discussion between Scotty Scheffler and his putting coach about his putter, and that he just felt as though he couldn't keep the club face square.
Yeah.
Whereas now with the mallet headed putter. He just seems to be able to keep that square, which obviously shows in his putting stats.
Yeah, and it's a visual cue that makes you probably feel a little bit more comfortable that you're keeping it square, and you can kind of see it move back and through a little bit better sometimes. And I guess there's a stability factor as well to that larger head size. I mean, Brian Harmon probably takes it to the extreme, which, his putter to me looks like a massive barbecue hot plate on the end of a stick. Yep. I don't think I'd be able to putt with that. Like, it feels like it's just enormous.
Well, I also saw, if you have a look at Adam Scott's
his lab
Broomy,
putter.
well, no, but before the lab, the one that he won the Masters.
Oh, yes.
That had a similar head to.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but I think it might have even been the precursor to the lab.
Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure what it was, but certainly, I have actually had a look at a lab putter, and they do look pretty good. I must admit, I haven't looked at the Broomy. They're only the short putters, but they do look really, really good.
Yeah.
So
until
you
see the price tag, that's when they don't look as good.
Well, it's interesting because again, I was listening to another commentator, talking, and you look at drivers these days. I mean, drivers are, some drivers are upwards, over $1,000, and people, will spend that amount of money without blinking an eye. Whereas putting, it's 40% of the game. Yeah,
difference. A
lot of people stinge out and go, "Oh no, I don't want to spend too much money on a putter."
No. The difference, and this is a critical difference, is that you generally, on average, you'll hit your putter about 4 to 6 feet, whereas you'll hit your driver, 280 to 300 meters. So in terms of distance use, you're using your driver far more than your putter.
Yeah, but it's the 3-4 footer or even a 3-4 incher is the same.
Not the point.
Yeah, but you still need, and you look at the difference between Scotty Scheffler where he was with his previous putter to where he is now. I think getting the right putter that suits you as an individual is just as important.
Look, totally
if not more important.
Totally
than
logical getting the right putter, but how do you justify the technology for piffing a ball 6 feet versus the technology for hitting one 300 meters?
Well, if you read about lab putters, apparently the ability to control and keep a stable face is like there's a fair bit of R&D that's gone into that club. So
marketing spin.
That's where that is it.
No, it's not. And we're not disparaging lab putters or any other putter manufacturer. I'm just merely saying that it feels more attractive to spend money on a club that you're smoking 300 meters than it does on a club that you're just knocking it around on the green.
Oh, yeah.
Feels more attractive.
There's no question it's more attractive, but what do you want to be? Do you want to be, more attractive on a golf course, or do you want to be able to put a score together?
As the great man, what was his name? The famous supermodel once said, Derek Zoolander, his name was, once said, is there anything more important in life than being really, really good looking?
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on your perspective.
Yeah. We've now quoted Derek Zoolander as well. That's good. We'll add that to the list anyway. That's usually your job. I know what I'm doing.
It is.
So, I mean, look, yes, I have heard as well of aftermarket shafts to go in putters, do a shaft fitting for your putter, which is interesting. Obviously, I mean, there's a big thing. I don't know how into the ins and outs of putters that you are, but I'm sure you'd be aware of, like the difference between your face balance or toe hang putters for depending on how much arc you've got in your putting stroke. That's a really interesting one. That's something a lot of people really haven't even delved into, like is your putting stroke a straight back and through, which point you want a face balance putter, Or if
Well,
you've
well,
got
that's where the mallet style really comes in. Is if you're straight back and through,
not
which
necessarily,
obviously,
not necessarily, Andy Walker. You can get mallet putters that have toe hang, which are designed for an arced putting stroke. You can. It's actually more to do with the hosel of the putter and how that joins the putter head, without getting into the ins and outs of it. But like, your center shaft, that goes straight in the middle, that'll be a straight back and through. Whereas often the plumber's neck is for a bit of an arced stroke. But again, it all depends on the way that the shaft interacts with the club head. But you can get a mallet for an arced stroke.
Interesting.
For anyone out there that doesn't know, try this. Find the center of gravity on your putter shaft and balance your putter on your finger. And if the face points to the sky, parallel with your finger, it's face balanced. But if the toe hangs down towards the ground, it's, as the name would suggest, toe hang. And the toe hang is suitable for more of an arced putting stroke. So you would open the face on the backswing and close the gate through impact. And there's degrees of toe hang. You might have a tiny little bit for slight arc. You might have a very heavy toe hang for a very archy, whip it inside and whip it back around type putting stroke. So that's...
Well, I mean, my B90, the old B90 that I'm still using.
Wow.
That is a face balanced putter, and I've always gone towards a face balanced putter. I find that to be the most beneficial for my game.
Yeah, I've gone towards a face balance. I'm actually questioning it at the moment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe I should have a teeny tiny little bit of toe hang. Who's to know?
Maybe you should get a putter fitting.
I wouldn't mind doing that. Wedge fitting, ball fitting. Topic for another episode, Andy Walker.
Yes, it is. It is.
Because I think we're getting to about that time. Anything else that you wanted to add before we move on? We talked about, actually, we did mention there's potentially something a little bit to do with future tournaments, perhaps.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I was doing a little bit of research because I know that our whole goal is to get into the New South Wales Senior Amateur. We'll not just get into it, but actually
win it.
Perform. Yeah. I mean, winning it is obviously a stretch goal, but certainly to perform well.
Apparently, it's a goal you got to write down, Andy Walker.
Apparently so. Apparently so. You shouldn't pussyfoot.
No pussyfooting this show.
But it's interesting because I actually watched a little bit of it this particular tournament last year because I visited the club and that's the New South Wales Senior Open. So not the Senior Amateur.
Senior Open.
Senior
so this is where you got professionals in this.
So Peter Lonard, Peter O'Malley, these pretty big names in Australian golf do play in it. In fact, David McClelland played in the New South Wales Senior Open last year. Missed the cut, but yeah, he did play in it down at Thurgoona Country Club, and nice. I did take a trip down to Thurgoona last year. It would have been August last year, and had a round there. It's really, really good spot. Like if you're sort of down that way in the Albury region along the Murray, Thurgoona, definitely go and have a trip to Thurgoona Country Club because I really rate it, and it's obviously I played well there, which obviously helps. But yeah, really, really good golf club. Good roast of a Saturday night as well.
Nice.
I sat down, had a roast dinner, looking at whether it was tossing up whether I'd do the palmy or maybe a schnitty, and saw the roast there and just went, you know what, I'm having the roast, and it was good. It was a winner.
Good veggies, roast potatoes.
Yeah. And
carrots,
I had a nice.
Did they roast the carrots as well?
Yeah.
Quite
and
like
nice gravy. Yeah,
like a honey glazed roast carrot. It's always nice.
Yeah, and went quite well with a glass of
Chardonnay,
Pepper Jack Shiraz.
Oh, Shiraz, nice.
Yeah,
I'm glad you didn't say Chardonnay because that would have upset me. Pepper
Yeah,
Jack Shiraz,
I'm,
that's good. Pepper Jack do some good
I'm
gear.
I'm not a Chardonnay dude.
No,
I'm just not. I'm
not
a
buttery
Shiraz
enough.
guy.
Speaking of Pepper Jack, Andy Walker digression, but wonderful people at Pepper Jack. If you would like to get on board the Missing Links Golf Show, please drop us a line. We'd be more than happy to do some product reviews for you.
Yes. Yeah, can't disagree with that.
Mm.
But anyway, back to the point of what I was going down the line of is the New South Wales Senior Open. What I've found is that there are, and I've actually found 5 events throughout the New South Wales Senior Amateur calendar,
Ooh.
which, of course, the New South Wales Senior Open being a PGA event is over 50.
Mm.
And New South Wales senior amateur events, a lot of them are over 50.
Mm.
So I qualify for those events.
do.
And there's a number of these events that the top 2 scratch scores on the day get qualification to the New South Wales Senior Open. So New South Wales Senior Open, Friday the 1st of November to Sunday the 3rd of November. I've got, and I probably can't do the first one, but I reckon I've got 4 chances after that I'm looking at where I can give it a crack and potentially, if I make the top 2 in any of those events, I get qualification to the New South Wales Senior Open at Laguna. So I've only just hadn't even really entered my head until earlier this week when I was just having a look at some of the events and I saw, New South Wales Senior Open qualifier, and I went, "What's that?" So then I started to do a bit of looking and went, "Wow, that's awesome."
Yeah,
So that's certainly a goal not to be pussyfooting around with, and I'll have
write
to
it down. Write it down. We need more detail. We absolutely need to hear more about this, and that is exciting. I'd like to see that happen. We also probably need another Varden event for the pair of us to hook into, and not too far in the distant future.
Well, I mean, we're looking when we're talking about the Mollymook Open, but that's not until August, and that was actually the reason why I was looking through the calendar just to see if there's something that we could play in, and I couldn't really see anything that would suit both of us.
Is that because I'm so young?
Yes.
Yeah,
that is exactly right.
Shame.
Junior.
Yeah, it's all right. Getting there. Definitely getting there.
Not far away.
Not far. And in fairness, there are days when I feel like I could easily qualify for one of the seniors events, but that is a separate issue.
That's a different topic.
Yeah, that is a separate issue for another day. But that's exciting, Andy Walker. I think that probably brings us pretty close to the end of this episode. We've covered a lot of ground, and there's look, April, it's been some reasonable golf thus far.
I think we've both got another comp round before the end of the month.
Looks that way.
So it's
going
to be interesting. I think maybe I've got a slender lead in the leaderboard for April, but
slender. You've got something like 100% differential percentage. I have to shoot a scratch round to tie. Anyway, that's fine.
Yeah,
we can.
That sounds like a you issue.
Well, it is. Clearly it is. Absolutely it is. Maybe I need a putter fitting. We'll deal with it. We can purchase our way to success. There's no doubt about that. But Andy Walker, another fantastic episode. There's a lot in there. I think if you dig through it, there's probably at least one kernel of wisdom to be found at some point.
Somewhere. Wading through the tangents. Anyway, it'll be there somewhere.
So many. It feels a little bit like panning for gold. There's a whole lot that you've got to get through before you get to just that tiny little fleck, that the kids bring home from Hill End or something like that. Anyway, find us out there. We are on, where are we, Andy Walker? We're on Facebook, I believe.
We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
Yep, the Missing Links Golf Show. You should find us in a number of places. TML Golf Show on X. Is it feeling any better yet to say X rather than Twitter?
No.
No, didn't think so. Find us there. You can email us, missinglinksgolfshow@gmail.com. Please do. It'd be great to hear from you, Pilgrims. Particularly, I've noticed we're getting following in Austria. Andy
Austria?
Walker. Austria, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know. And Adelaide. I feel like our star is rising in Adelaide. We've had some Adelaide listeners for quite some time. It's growing.
Great place, Adelaide.
It is.
Love Adelaide.
I'm a massive fan. Can't wait to get down there. We won't be there for the live event this year, unfortunately. We had talked about it, but we won't be getting down there for that. But I really do actually want to organise an event down in Adelaide at some point. Maybe coincide with a little bit of wine tasting in the Barossa or McLaren Vale.
Potentially.
That could happen. Stay tuned, Adelaideans. We're on our way. No time frame given, but we're on our way. So that's interesting. Austria, though. Austria.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure where in Austria, but there's a few pilgrims.
How many countries then are we in? Is that 14 now?
It is. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's 14 countries we're now. Because India, we picked up India as well, Andy Walker.
We did pick up India.
Indian pilgrims. And I literally think that was straight off the back of all of our discussion about acceptance and meditation.
Maybe.
I think that's what got us over the line.
Potentially.
So to any of our Indian pilgrims, maybe get in contact, let us know, is that what's been floating your boat, or has that got absolutely nothing to do with it, and is it more to do with my illustrious previous cricket career? Who's to know? Who's to know? Potentially.
Well, we have had a couple of cricket references. I mean, the Richie episode. That was there. That potentially could have been the trigger for it.
That could have been it. I have not looked. But at the same time, pretty decent golf courses in India and some decent players starting to make their way on the pro circuit. So maybe it's a growing market.
It's a growing sport. It's a growing sport in India. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to rival cricket.
Unlikely.
I think that's a given cricket is almost a religion over there. But certainly golf is it's a growing sport and just, a massive potential for the Indian market to grow.
It is. 14 countries, Andy Walker, that we are semi-live into. Indonesia was another one. Picked up Indonesia.
All right. Okay. Nice.
Indonesia. And would you like to know how many cities, allegedly, that we are going into?
I would, actually.
44 different cities.
44?
Around the world in 14 different countries.
Wow. Okay.
It's quite something. Klagenfurt, Austria.
Where is... I'm going to have to Google that.
Klagenfurt. Bengaluru in India is one. Yeah. Some interesting places.
Nice.
Denpasar in Bali. Actually, Bali.
Oh, Bali. Okay. That's potentially an expat, you reckon?
Could be.
Yeah.
We're Denpasar. We've also got Bangkok. So
I reckon that there's a fair chance that that's potentially an expat or a traveller.
How do you explain Frankfurt in Germany?
Yeah, I can't explain that. I'm not convinced that that's an expat or a traveller.
It's quite a few. It's quite a few popping up from Frankfurt, actually. Anyway, we could go on.
We could. We've got to end the show at some stage.
And I'm not ruling it out. But anyway, to all you pilgrims out there, wherever you may be from, tell us something about where you're from, what got you onto the show, what you like about it. Not so much about what you don't like about it, probably more focus on what you like about it. Egos are fragile. And we, look forward to hearing more from you. So, Andy Walker, any final thoughts?
Well, I just hope everyone has a great week, great golfing week.
Mm.
And yeah, rock out, Pilgrims.